You got him at your fourth, your fifth, your sixth. Does he even make it to top 8? Where's Max?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Plus 3. Nationals is coming, baby. I'm Matt Rosman, joined by John Epley and Manu Singh, y'all. And let's just get down to it. Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. John, I'm going to start with you. Give me your podium for 3x3. I know we've already talked about our winners, but let's expand it out to the podium. Who do you got?
Good, because I got a little bit of flack last time because I said Max Park was my winner. And surprisingly, that was a hot take. I reading the comments, it seems like everyone was supporting everyone else. So I still got Max as my number 1. I got Maddie as my number 2, and I'm going to take Greiser as my number 3. I think that Luke Garrett, I think Dylan Miller could both take that third spot or shake up the podium. I mean, Dylan has beaten Max pretty recently in competition, so I think this is really variable. Those are the 5 people that could be in any position in the podium, but I still think there's some sleeper takes out there. Caleb Chen, Ryan Pilot, Max Shaw, Brian Johnson, 4 names that I think could also make a run for it. I'm not saying that I think they're going to be in the podium, but I think they could if things align. I think that this is a pretty open competition. I mean, Max and Maddie, yes, they're probably a lock for first and second, or at least for a podium, but it's going to be pretty fun following those other storylines too. So I got Greiser as my 3rd.
Interesting. I think I definitely agree with you that I think that there are 5 people who have a chance to make it onto the Nationals podium. 2 of mine are going to be the same as yours. I'm actually going to put Maddie as number 1. Just looking at his solving recently, he's been incredible. I'm putting Max Park as number 2. He's like the 4-time national champion. I think he's just short, and not because he's performing badly, just because Maddie is doing so well. And in number 3, that one is a little bit of the toss-up spot. I think you're right. It could go to any of the 3. I'm picking Dylan Miller here. Just the results that he's gotten at home have been absolutely superb. He's been solving pretty well in competition. A little bit of a hiccup last week at the Rocky Mountain Championship, but he doesn't have the other events that Luke Garrett has to deal with. And then I think he's just a little bit more locked in than Greiser. Maybe Greiser will prove me wrong there. So that's my 3. As for who else is potentially possible, I think anyone in the top 8 is, of course, is likely to make it into the finals. But of course, you have to actually get there in the first place. 32 competitors are going to come in, and 16 of them are just going to be knocked out immediately in the first round. And this isn't your typical competition. 16 people are going to get knocked out. Like, someone who's like a 6-second solver is going to be gone after just like the first day.
Brutal. Yeah, like I said when we did the winners video, Maddie's still my number 1. I think everything that I'm seeing out of him just screams that, okay, this is a guy who's going to be performing and competing at a championship level. He's got the best turning, I think, of anybody at this competition right now. I easily think that Maddie could really, really dominate it. Number 2, I'm going to go with Luke Garrett. I know there are the concerns with Garrett about, oh, he's doing a lot of different events. He's doing a lot of different stuff. Yeah, he might be coming into it, on the one hand, a little bit more tired and focusing on other stuff. But on the other hand, do not forget his performance at Worlds was weighed down because of an injury, an almost unprecedented thing. I think Garrett's going to use Nationals to bounce back. And at number 3, I got Dylan Miller. Look, Dylan's been posting a lot of really good results recently. I think he's definitely been on a hot streak, especially with the stuff he's been putting out at home. I just think that he's, definitely going to be sitting behind Garrett and Maddie in that regard. It's just like, I think those 2 guys are going to perform a lot better. So, yeah, that's my top 3.
Where's Max?
Yeah, no Max?
Huh?
Where's Max? You got him at your 4th, your 5th, your 6th. Does he even make it to top 8? Where's Max?
I mean, well, he's not on my podium. The question was about the podium, man. I answered top 3.
Where is he going to end up in your mind then? The other thing is, what average does Max need to get in order for him to like completely be knocked off the podium?
No, but okay, listen. The future is now. Listen, I do not think that Max Park is going to get a podium result in 3x3. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think that other guys right now, the reason I talked about this, and we talked about this last time, Max Park, he's really consistent. You know what you're going to get out of Max Park's times. But other guys just have higher peaks. Max hasn't had that high of a peak in a long time. Other guys are going to be able to be there. Garrett, I think he can have higher peaks. Maddie can have higher peaks. Even Dylan and Greiser, I think, can have higher peaks right now. It's about peaks. It's like, I get that, yes, Max is like the OG and Max has won so much and he's had a great career, but I think it's time for some things to get moving. I don't have Max in my top 4. I probably have him at my 5.
Wow. That's just a little bit wild, I think. I think, like, there is out of all the 5 people who we think are going to end up on the podium, only Max is the one who's like consistently performed at a high level in these high pressure situations. I mean, like Luke Garrett, he doesn't have like a notable result at a major championship. Obviously, he's going to try and change that. Dylan also doesn't. Greiser got 3rd at NAC, but that's like about it. Maddie has some notable results, but even Maddie is kind of like on that. Maddie's turning has looked quite good, but in that Monkey League match wasn't quite perfect, at least in my opinion. So I don't know. I think it's crazy to leave Max out of the top 3.
Roz, the more I think about it, I have him as my 1, and I still don't think it's impossible that he's not on the podium. So I think it's pretty cool to think that going into this, that those are both possibilities. Max could not make it to finals. That is a real possibility. 2 bad solves and he's out, right? I don't think it's possible, but or I don't think it's probable, but I do think it's possible.
And listen, if you want to go and support and see all these guys in person, you can buy tickets now on the Cubicles website. Use code SpeedcubingTv for a discount. It's going to be a huge blast. And look, I will I will just let the comments speak for themselves, because I know I'm gonna catch flack for it. John, I heard you say, oh, I took flack for saying that Max is gonna win it. Well, now I'm gonna redirect the rage towards myself instead of you. Listen, speaking of nationals, I guess, John, we'll go back to you here. What do you think, if you were setting this up and if you were organizing it, what's the one rule change that you would make for nationals?
Yeah, I mean, if this question was asked a year or 2 ago, my answer would probably be different, because we have things like head-to-head now. So we have these things in the book. So what I want to see is, I want to see a leader booth, maybe a pre-fire hot seat, something to the effect where they take the person that's in first place, and you're going to sit down in this booth with a camera at you, a mic at you, and you're going to sit there and you're going to watch the rest of the solvers until someone knocks you out. I think it builds this drama, and it lets that person enjoy being in first place. Like, it's not just you go up in 8th place and you go sit with your family because, like, I'm not going to win anyways. You're winning right now, and you get to enjoy that win for as long as it happens. And you probably know one of these next guys is not going to knock you off, but you get to enjoy that experience. We did a little bit of this at Worlds. Actually, it just wasn't really on camera. It was really hard for us to get a shot of it. But they did take the current podium. They had them stand off to the side. So I would really like to have that just narrowed down to Mr. Number 1 that's sitting in that hot seat, and we say, this person is projected to be the winner unless someone can knock him off. Yeah, I love the drama.
Of course you love the drama. Hey, so the thing I would change, and I think it's something that is probably well known for me at this point, is I would change the qualification system. I'm not a huge fan of using PRs, at least like infinite PRs that go like all the way back. I just see that in the future that this is going to be a problem. People are going to have old PRs that they've never been able to beat, and then they're like taking up slots when people are currently performing a little bit better than they are right now. The other thing I would change is just in terms of the qualification system, I want it to move to a little bit of more like an invite system, where there are certain people who kind of like automatically qualify. Think of it a little bit like, I think they have this for the FedEx Cup as well. Like, I think that there's like they run a leaderboard, and so many people end up qualifying. Or I think at the World Cup, the teams that qualify, I think, have to go through some qualifying stage, and they win some qualifiers. We already run the regional championships across the US and Canada, right? So why don't we just repurpose those and make the winner of those automatically get a berth into the national championship? It elevates all the regionals. It gives people something to fight for. That's what I would change. But yeah.
I'm going to agree with you to an extent in terms of changing something about qualification. But if I wanted to propose like a system specifically for high profile events, national championships, world championships, What I think should be done is something along the lines of, okay, anyone can, submit a time. Anyone out there, anyone at all. You get 3 attempts at a qualifying time, and you submit your best one to the competition. And then of those, like say the 30 or 40 best times of that qualifying set, those are the people who get to compete at nationals, worlds, whatever. I think that solves the immediacy problem, and it also definitely puts pressure on people to, okay, I need to prepare this, and I need to prepare for this, and I need to make sure that I'm consistently training and consistently on my game, and not giving up the 40th spot to someone who might have a worse PR than me. So I think changing it to something like that, where it's a bit more merit based in the moment, would be really good.
I mean, what's the difference between doing that and just saying that instead of taking infinite PRs, it's only like whatever your best was in the last 6 months or something like that? Like, how's that any different?
Well, I'm not saying, I'm saying it's specifically submitting it for the purposes of the competition.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
That's what I
So
mean. You're specifically like applying, like it's
like
basically
Monkey
like I
League.
said, yeah, kind of like Monkey League. Yeah, anyone can apply, but it's whoever has the best times. You give people like say 3 or 5 chances. Kind of you record yourselves at like home or something, and then you send your best time in and say, obviously, verify it, make sure everything is all right there, because Lord knows someone's going to try and cheat the system. But then everyone, you get like your 30 or 40 best times, and those are the people that go in. And if someone is having an off day, that's just how it is. I think it invites a bit more competition and a bit more kind of spice than just saying, okay, we're going to take the 30 or 40 best PRs of people that we can get.
I
Yeah,
like that, but I think it makes more sense for like a Monkey League or a PSL, because as an organizer, I mean, I think that I've organized a Great Lakes Championships before, and we streamed it, and it wasn't really watched much outside of the parents and people that weren't there and the local people. So I do like that, the drama of what you're presenting, but making these smaller competitions not so small and mean more, I think that's going to just drive more viewership to the sport. It's going to make more people want to show up in person and make these smaller competitions bigger and bigger. So I really like not only the fairness of Manu's idea there, but also just the kind of impact it will drive to push people to go to competitions and watch them more and just have more impact with each competition.
And then I'll quickly jump in and just say that I like the hot seat idea. I think that sounds fun.
Yeah, I also agree. And that is your dramatics right there. Now, and speaking of hot, before we get out of here, it's a great transition here. We've got the prefire.co 1 hot minute. John, we're gonna start with you just real quick here. What's your bold prediction for Nats?
Bold prediction: Ryan Pilot, insane single. So whether it's 3x3, square one, blindfold of some sort, Ryan Pilot just has a tendency to just pop the heck off, and he's probably going to do it at this competition. So I want to see him do it in finals on the main stage, and it really could be in any of those events because he just has a track record of just killing it.
Okay, for me, I only got 20 seconds. My bold prediction is I think that someone from the bottom 16 is going to make it into 3x3 finals, and I think someone from the top 8 is going to get knocked out in the first round. I think it's just crazy. I mean, the format really sets itself up like this. And remember, they're ordered by PR, not necessarily who's doing well in the moment.
And my bold prediction is that the winning average for 3x3 finals will be a sub-5 average. I don't know if it's that bold, but I think that someone is going to really pop off. Whoever wins is going to have a field day in finals.
Dude, I'd love to see that. USA, greatest country in the world, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I actually kind of like all of these because I think they all seem kind of reasonable to some extent. Man, the one thing I was thinking of putting on here was that the North American average was going to get beaten. But then I was like, that is maybe a little too bold. The stakes are a little too high. If this were like a normal U.S. Nationals where it's like kind of like convention style, you have like 1,000 people showing up or whatever. Maybe in your round 1, round 2, where you're guaranteed to advance. If you're one of these like top solvers, maybe it makes sense. But I think for something like this, I think as much as I want to see it, I don't think it will end up happening.
I mean, I think that Max could do it. Maddie could do it. Dylan Miller can do it. Luke Greiser can do it. I think Luke Garrett can do it. I mean, I think all of these people, it's very possible. It's within their grasp. I mean, I think the scramble set and then nerves are going to come down to it.
Listen, if you want to stay hot, stay fresh, stay ready, you can go to prefire.co, get yourself some hand warmers. Again, use code SpeedcubingTV. Again, huge shout out to Prefire. That's the 1 hot minute. I guess that kind of wraps things up here for us at +3. I mean, we're coming back this weekend on SpeedcubingTV for Nationals. I'm excited. I know y'all at home are excited. I know these two bozos next to me here are excited. You know, it's just if you have the time, even if you don't have the time, if you're working Saturday, Sunday, God forbid, watch Nationals, dude. It's going to be an absolute blast.
Hey, tell you what, like if you're into sports or whatnot, we got the World Series going on. Those games have been fantastic so far. But guess what? Actually, Nationals will actually wrap up before the World Series games begin, because I think that game is back in Toronto. But in any case, I think that starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time. We should be done with Nats at that time, so you can go from one awesome sporting event to another awesome sporting event. How about that, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think that's going to wrap things up here for us at +3. Comment down below. Tell us, who's your podium? What kind of bold predictions, what hot predictions are you feeling for Nationals? It should be a lot of fun. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, we're starting streaming on Saturday, November 1st at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time. It's still daylight for a couple more days. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching +3, everybody, and we'll see you next time.